Well, it's being called the most important religious liberty decision since the masterpiece Cake Shop case. That's because for the first time, a federal appeals court has ruled that religious believers can invoke their First Amendment rights when declining to participate in same-sex weddings. The case, which is now being sent back to the lower courts, involves a Christian couple in Minnesota that runs a media production company. That couple, Carl and Angel Larsen, along with their attorney from the Alliance Defending Freedom, Jeremy Tedesco, join us this morning. Carl and Angel, thank you very much for joining us and sharing your story. So you own a film company. You wanted to go into weddings, but a law in Minnesota said that you couldn't discriminate or make judgments as a company as to what weddings you film. Is that correct?
Yeah, my wife and I are storytellers, and every story we tell, we want to tell in a way that is honoring to God and serves our clients. So we love to tell marriage stories, and the law in Minnesota gave us two options. We could either stay silent, or we could face steep fines and jail time for making films that are consistent with our beliefs. And neither of those were good choices, so we're forced to challenge the law.
So, Angel, you've challenged the law, and ultimately it's ruled in your favor. I mean, critics will say, well, this is about discrimination. I would say you would probably look at it more as religious freedom.
Well, it's just absurd. We always look at the message, and it is never about the person. And so we, as creative story professionals, we all do this. We look at the message and never the person.
We work with everyone. We just can't promote every message.
Yeah, Jeremy, I see that you're going to chime in here. Let me, Keith Ellison, the Attorney General of Minnesota, tweeted when the decision came out. He said, I fought alongside, this is the tweet from Keith Ellison. Do we have it? I fought alongside the LGBT community for years. As a human, I'm offended by the majority's ruling. As Attorney General, I'm going to respond in the strongest and most strategic way possible to maximize human rights and dignity for LGBTQ people and everyone, no exception. So, Jeremy, you've won this iteration, but it's not over.
Yeah, well, look, the Supreme Court has said that forcing people to express messages that violate their core convictions is a violation of their dignity, and that's what's at stake in this case. Does the government have the power to threaten filmmakers with 90 days in jail to force them to create films that violate their beliefs? Or look at it another way. Does the state have the power to force an atheist marketer to create a billboard campaign promoting belief in God? The state doesn't have that power. It doesn't have that kind of power in a free society.
Carl, it's almost sometimes helpful to personalize these things to get an understanding of it. That would be like me as a commentator being told I have to take a position on something I don't believe in order to keep my job. Ultimately, you have a business, you have beliefs, you want to marry those two together.
And that's correct, and that's why this is a win for everyone. Regardless of what people believe, freedom is essential, and the government not having the power to coerce people to promote things that are against their beliefs is absolutely good for everyone.
So, Angel, have you been able to do weddings? Do you plan to do more? What's the result of this?
Well, we're still litigating the case, and the case has not come to a final conclusion. The Eighth Circuit's opinion gives a great roadmap for the ultimate victory in the case. The Minnesota may appeal it to the Supreme Court, so we'll just have to see how Minnesota decides to proceed. But this is a great victory for everybody's free speech rights. You know, the court went out of its way to say that and to say, you know, the state can't force an atheist musician to perform at an evangelical church service or a Democratic speechwriter to write speeches for a Republican candidate. And so this is a freedom we all benefit from, and it's something that should be celebrated.
Angel, last word.
We're just excited that the courts ruled in our favor, and that is freedom for everyone to be able to live and work according to what our deepest convictions.
Well, and that's ultimately what tolerance is too, right? We may not agree on everything, but we tolerate the fact that we have differences and can live together anyway. Angel and Carl, thank you very much, and Jeremy for your expertise. We appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you.
And congratulations.
Thank you.